Hi, it's Norman Kochannek. We're here on the eve of the test match, the first test match between India and Australia, which will be at the Adelaide Oval as of tomorrow. It's quite amazing to think of the test series being upon us after an amazing ODI and T20 series. Selection of the teams are one of the major issues leading into the match, and we'll go through that now for you. India in particular have had a number of selection matters that they had to deal with. It looks as though Mayank Agarwal will open with Prithvi Shaw. And unfortunately, it's very disappointing that Shubman Gill will miss out on being in that opening position based on his tour form that he's had throughout the early part of this series. Then, of course, the batsmen have picked themselves. Pujara with Kohli as captain and Rahane as vice captain. And with Vihari also in form, batting at number 6. Then it comes to the selection of the wicketkeeper in the team. You've got Riddhiman Saha and Rishabh Pant. The fact is that my heart tells me Pant, but unfortunately my head tells me Saha. It's likely that Saha will be the keeper for the team. Then you've got the bowlers, the likes of Shami and Bumrah, both picked themselves and been bowling particularly well for some time now. And of course Ashwin as the spinner. Ashwin will be in the side, but you'll have the likes of Kuldeep Yadav there to be a backup, especially when it comes to the Sydney Test when they might play 2 spinners. The other third seamer will likely be Umesh Yadav, based on his form, in particular on the two tour matches, which he's bowled particularly well. The likes of Rahul, well, he will come into frame when it comes to the second test, which is in Melbourne, and also preceding tests of Sydney and Brisbane. The likelihood is also Rohit Sharma will come into play. He's on his way to Australia. He'll be in quarantine, missing out on the second test by a few days, but will be certainly ready for the third. So both Rahul and Rohit Sharma will also figure in that third test in Sydney. Then you have the backup bowlers, which are there in support, namely Saini and also Siraj. And of course, Jadeja is there as well, based on his form, but he is actually injured and recovering from injury. He'll be in the frame as well. So a very exciting Indian squad with a great test team, a great number of batters, which very clearly they'll have to bat and bat well. Their bowling department will hold their own, but their batting department has to show up and actually perform very well. The Australian side, quite difficult there with the opening position. Joe Burns has scored some 29 runs in 8 innings with a series of 4 duck in his last few innings. Not good at all, but due to the fact that he's a right-hander, looks quite like he'll be actually in that position. It looks like he will be playing. The other opener would have been Warner. He's injured. Pukowski's also out as an injury. That brings into play both Marcus Harris and the potential Matthew Wade opening. They'll probably go left-right-hander, which will mean probably Matthew Wade will get a Guernsey and Marcus Harris will miss out. Then you've got Labuschagne, Smith in the batting lineup with Travis Head, and now with Wade going to open potentially, Cameron Green, who's recovered from his concussion, will probably play in that position. Steve Smith, of course, as well, has recovered from a back injury and will be in that place as well. We have then the keeper of Payne, and the bowlers select themselves, the likes of Hazelwood, Stark and Cummins, with Lyon as the spinner. Those are the sides for both Australia and India. Looks like a great series. I'm expecting India to win the first test match. I'm actually predicting them to win 3-1, but it will depend on the likes of Rohit Sharma and Rahul, Rahane and Pujara to bat well in the absence of Kohli once he returns to India on the absence of him, based on his wife's impending birth. So look forward to the series. This is Norman Kochannek view, and we'll be able to look at the series with you in its entirety. First test tomorrow.